fine and safe by grace of God. One more class God has made us to meet us together. Okay, children. So before moving on to the class, one Bible verse, that is, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. That is a promise what God is giving you this morning, right? And my prayer for you is, I pray that God will fill you with the wisdom, knowledge and understanding you need for everything you face today. I pray you would know that you are never alone. God is with you throughout this day, okay? That is, through it all, and I pray that God is with you throughout this day. Okay, children, with this promise, let us move on to the lesson what is going to be taught today. That is, you will be having a revision lesson, okay? All your portions are over for quarterly exam, and I am going to do few of the book exercises as revision for you. Poetic devices will be done for you, as well as the appreciation questions, and all the book back exercises and question and answers also will be discussed. Okay, what is a revision? This is what we are going to revise today. Okay, I have completed for you all these 3 lessons, 3 topics, right? You have done the last week, all the overall month. Okay, what is the prose lesson? First prose lesson is Two Gentlemen of Verona, a nice cup of tea, and in celebration of being alive. 3 prose lessons you have. Then for poem, what are the poems you are going to learn? The Castle, Our Casuarina Tree, and All the World's a Stage. Okay, and next thing you are going to learn about the supplementary reading 1, 2 and 3. Okay, God Sees the Truth But Waits, Life of Pi, The Hour of Truth, what you learnt in the last week, right? So 3 non-detailed stories, 3 poems and 3 prose stories. What 3 non-detailed stories, 3 poems and 3 prose lessons. So that is what you are going to revise for your quarterly exam. Okay, first thing, I have taken a book exercise from the first lesson. You can have your reader with you. I'm just going to give you few examples, certain exercises which is very important. We are going to do revision, and then we will do all the book exercises in the Zoom classes. Okay, now homophones are words that has the same sound but have different meanings and spellings. 1 or 2 more words pronounced alike but different origin. This category includes words that are spelled the same, such as meat, meeting, and meat, the flesh of an animal. So what are called homophones, children? Homophones are the words that has the same sound but you have a different spelling and different meaning. For example, I have given here, can you see here all the examples for homophones? Can you see there? Male, pair, okay, Joe, and whole. More examples you can see now. See here, they sound like alike but they have a different spellings and different meanings. Oh my dear, can you see here? Okay, the pronunciation is same but the spelling D-E-A-R, another one is D-E-E-R. Same way, can you see here for right here? W-R-I-T-E, R-I-G-H-T. The differences, can you see? One you can write, another one you can put a tick mark, but the pronunciation is same. Spelling is different, meaning is different. You can see here also. See, with your eyes you can see, and another see with sea water, right? So what are called homophones? They What? Tell me now. They should be alike. That is, same pronunciation, different spellings and different meanings. They are called as homophones. In your exam, you will be getting fill in the blanks with homophones or fill up the blank spaces with homophones. You have all those things in your lesson 1 book exercises. Okay. Now there are confusables. There are some confusables are there. Just see what are confusables. Confusables are words that are commonly confused with one another in the meaning, usage because of slight similarities in spelling, pronunciation or meaning. The pronunciation or meaning, there will be a slight similarities. For example, moment, you can see the spellings. Moment, movement is here. Except, okay, E-X-C-E-P-T, E-X-P-E-C-T. These are all confusables. You can just see here, affect. Okay, so I have given you example, same way for inquiry. These are all called common confusables. After the homophone exercise, you have it in your reader. Next one, we are going to learn about derivatives. Okay, from affixes and prefix and suffix, you are going to form derivatives. So for that, what is an affix? First you have to learn. Definition of an affix is a part that is added to words either at the beginning or at the end of the word that changes or affects the meanings of the word. Okay, how you learn in Tamil, no? You will have in Tamil, right? Like that. You are going to join the words and write. See, there are two affixes, that is prefix and suffix. For example, re plus charge plus ing, recharging. You are writing the word together. Okay. Now, prefix and suffix. There are certain rules you have to follow. Prefix is an affix which is placed before the root word. Everybody knows before the root word you have to add the word prefix. A suffix is an affix which is placed after the root word. Adding it to the beginning of one word changes it into another word. The suffixes change the meaning or grammatical function of the root word. Whereas prefix, some of the prefixes are un, mis, dis, mre, etc. Okay. Some of the suffixes are ness, less, ment, words ending with ed, ing, etc. Okay. See, words ending in E, drop the E if the suffix begins with a vowel. What are the vowels? A, E, I, O, you call it as vowels. Apart from this vowels, we will call the remaining alphabets as consonants. Example, save plus ing, saving. Double the final consonant if the word has one syllable or if the suffix begins with a vowel. So, for example, sit plus ing. You have to double, that is two teeth, sitting. Okay. Words ending with ing, we will have another name also, gerund also, right? When a word ends with a consonant followed by y, change the y to I. Unless the suffix starts with a vowel, cry plus ing, crying. When a word ends with a vowel followed by y, keep the y. Play plus ing. So you have to learn all these rules. The rules are there, I have given you. Afterwards you can just go through the rules and follow according to that, and you can fill up the suffix and prefix. So read the list of the words formed by adding suffixes. There are few examples in your reader. Okay. Form two derivatives from each of the following words by adding prefixes and what are called phrasal verbs. It combines a verb with a preposition that functions as a verb whose meaning is different from the combined meanings of the individual words. An idiomatic phrase consisting of a verb and another element, typically either an adverb as in the breakdown or a preposition. For example, what, see to, or a combination of both such as look down, on is called as phrasal verbs. There are few examples in your reader, phrasal verbs. See, for example, you can see here, cut off, come upon, put out, draw up, pass out, take off, turn away, bank on. These are all the phrasal verbs. You can use phrasal verbs using framing the sentences on your own. For example, cut off. What is the meaning for cut off? Tell me. Remove. Okay. Then remove, that is cut off means to remove. What is the meaning for come upon? To meet unexpectedly. To meet unexpectedly. You have it in your reader. Okay, unexpectedly. Then put out. I am doing so only certain things. Okay, put out. Stop. Okay, put out means stop. Okay, pass out. What is the meaning of pass out here? Pass out means what? To distribute. Pass out means to distribute. Okay, take off. What? Take off means what? Depart. Okay, then turn away. Turn away means what? Reject. Okay, you have it here. Pass out. Become unconscious, or he passed out because the room was too hot. You can have the examples here. Bank on. Bank on means what? To depend on. Okay, children. You will be having all the meanings in your reader. In the Zoom class, you bring your pencil, pen, everything else. Whatever I am telling, you can make it a mark, and you can write the meanings also in your reader also. Right? Now, the next topic will be connectives or linkers. Connectives we will say most probably for conjunctions, or the link words we will say, joining two sentences into one sentence, or fill in the blanks with the connectives or linkers. For example, but, and, still, yet, so many connectives you have. As per your reader, you have connectives, one words that join or link ideas in a sentence. They can also be used to connect ideas together in separate sentences and to link ideas between paragraphs. Connectives help in facilitating the flow of language, in constructing of proper structures while writing or speaking. They help to connect ideas so as to smoothly link one point or a paragraph to the next to make our writing or speaking more powerful. These are the rules you have to learn about connectives or linkers. Okay. Then I think the next topic, you have exercises. If you know that is in your reader, you have the exercises in your reader, the connectives. See, what is the sentence you have here? I could not complete my paper in the examination. Dash, because, but I was slow in answering the question. You know the answer, right? What is the answer you will do? What is the answer? You will put a tick mark. It is because. Okay, I could not complete my paper in the examination because I was slow in answering the question. Second sentence. It started raining. Dash, we could not play. What? It started raining, so we could not play. The next one. Dash, I got up early. That is what? As I got up early. I managed to reach school on time. Next one. Though, whereas he committed a mistake, he apologized. So what is the word you will use it there? Though. Okay, you will use the word though is the answer. Then Dash promised that he would not repeat it. What you will use? The next one is and. These are the connective words. This is dash. It must be done. What? This is. What will you use there? How? This is how. What? This is how it must be done. The vendor saw the train moving slowly from the platform. Therefore, until he got in. Which is the correct answer? Therefore. Okay. Therefore, you have to insert the answer over here. I was not well. Dash. I did not attend the class. So, it is very clearly stated that so. So, I did not attended the class. These are the connective words. You will be getting sentences like this in your paper. Fill in the blanks with connectives or linkers. Okay, or sometimes you will be getting compound words. All you can use only what? The link words, because, and, but, as, how, therefore, so. Okay, with the help of these words, you have to fill up the blank spaces, right? The next topic is you have modal verbs. Already you have learnt modal verbs. What are modal verbs? Auxiliaries. There are 9 modal auxiliaries. What are they? Can, could, then tell me, shall, should, then will, would, may, might, and must. These 9 words are called as modal verbs. You know when you have to use can, and the past tense of can is could. Will, the past tense of will is would. Shall, the past tense of shall is should. May, might, and must. May, might, and must. Must is for condition, and may and might for uncertainty, or you can use the word for blessing also. We will see what are the rules for this modal verbs. See, you can see here. Can, to express the ability and permission. I can dance well. Could is used to express past ability, permission, possibility. Could we play football? The next one is may, to express permission and possibility. May I come in? Might, to express weaker possibility. It might rain later. So must, to express strong belief, severe compulsion. You must come tomorrow. You must complete your homework. The command is given there. Okay. Shall, to express a future action, suggestion, and promises. I shall solve it soon. Should, to express advices and obligation. You should work hard. Will is used for express polite request and future action. I will start tomorrow, or I will be coming to your house tomorrow. The future action denotes will, and the past tense of will is would, to request you to offer and used in the sentence. Would you please keep quiet? Oh, these are the 9 modal verbs. How many modal verbs, children, you have learnt? 9 modal verbs. Apart from this, you have 4 semi-modal verbs. Can you tell me what are the 4 semi-modal verbs? They are ought to, then need, then what? Used to. One more you have, dare to. These are 4 semi-modal. So altogether, modal verbs, I said there are 9 modal verbs and 4 semi-modal verbs. 4 semi-modal verbs, I said ought to, need to, dare to, and used to. When you are really in need of, you can use the word need to. Okay. And for negative reaction, you can use dare, and used to for the past actions, whatever you have done. Once I used to read the storybook, but now at present I am not reading the storybook. When I was studying 7th standard, I used to go to the playground and play, but now I am not going to the playground for playing. So the past actions you can use used to. Is that clear, children? So I hope you are able to understand the modal verbs. Okay. So you will be getting in your exam papers, fill in the blanks with the modal auxiliaries. Fill in the blanks with semi-modals or quasi-modal verbs. You should know the difference. Fill in the blanks with modal verbs, and if you fill the semi-modal verbs, you will not get marks. So according to the sentence, you have to read and write the proper answer in the blank spaces. You have examples here for modal verbs. I think in your reader you have what are the examples? You have it in your reader, I think. See here, you dash help the needy, that is moral obligation. Can you tell me what is the modal verb that you will be filling up, children? You dash help the needy, moral obligation. You can write what? Ought to. If I were you, I dash not behave like that. The conditional sentences. If I were you, if I would. Okay. The third one. What is the third one? I dash never tell a lie. That is the what? Determination. I shall. Okay. Shall is the answer. Next one. My uncle dash have reached my by now. What is this? Possibility. Possibility, you can tell me might. Okay. Might. Sometimes you can use for uncertainty also. I might come tomorrow. When you're not sure about certain things, you can use the word might. It might rain. I might take leave tomorrow. You can use in that case. Okay. The patient is critical. He dash be taken to hospital. Compulsion. What will you use there for compulsion? Must. Okay. Compulsion is must is the answer. Then I dash to play hockey when I was a student. I told you the past habit. What is that model semi-modal verb you will use? Used to. The past action. Okay. I used to play hockey when I was a student. You dash not attend my class. Order. Order is given. What can you use for order? Tell me now. You, for I said always for command you can use must. Okay. You must not attend. He dash come today. Remote possibility. What? Remote possibility means when you are not sure. Might. Okay. Might is the answer. You dash follow the traffic rules. Regulation. What will you use? You will. Okay. What you have to use it? What will you use for regulation? Can you tell me? You must. Okay. You must follow the traffic rules. The willingness. He dash play the match. What will you write? He will. Okay. He will play the match. You not waste time on it. Necessity. I said when you are in need you can use what? The semi-modal verbs. What is that? Need. Necessity. Had the doctor come in time, he dash have saved the patient. Probability, what will you use? Would. Okay. Past tense. I hope you are able to understand what is the difference between modal auxiliaries and semi-modal auxiliaries. You have this exercise in your reader. You can turn over the pages and you can mark the answers. Okay. Questions. What are the poems? The Castle. You can see here the castle, the Casuarina tree, all the world's a stage. Castle written by Edwin Muir, Casuarina tree by Toru Dutt, and all the world's a stage by William Shakespeare. So all the book back questions on that day, I'm just going to revise it from the poem. So you have to be ready in learning the poetry name and the author's name. So it's a 1 mark question. I will be questioning you on this and we will have a discussion. Okay. Now, poetic devices, you can see here. What are the poetic devices? It is taken from poem 1 till 3 only. Underline the alliterated words in the following lines. You know what is an alliteration. Repeated consonant sounds are called alliteration. Simile, comparison. As and like will be there, then only you call it as simile. For metaphor, there will be comparison, but as and like will not be there. For inanimate objects, you will call it as personification. So more poetic devices we will be learning. Some of the few and important poetic devices I have highlighted here. A little wicket, wicket gate. Here you have alliterated words. Wicked and wicket. With our arms and provender, load on load. See, load and load is the alliterated word, the repeated word. Identify the figure of speech. Grew thin and treacherous as air. You can see the word as. As and like, if it comes, it is a simile. Our only enemy was gold. Here there is only comparison is here, gold, but there is no as and like. That is why you call it as what? Metaphor. All the world's a stage is also metaphor. There is no simile present here, as or like. Then, full of strange oaths and beard like the part. Like is here, what is this? It is a simile. Seeking the bubble, reputation, metaphor. book back devices will be, that is all the poetic devices will be discussed in the Zoom class. All the book exercises, whatever you have from poem 1 till 3, we will be redoing it again in the Zoom classes. Okay children, so what are you going to do? I hope that so far you listened to all the topics. What are the topics we learned today? We learned homophones, phrasal verbs, connectives, linkers. Then what we did? Modal auxiliary verbs, semi-modal verbs. Then join the words and write it in one word. Then what we learned? Tell me what are the things we left? We learned poetic devices and all the appreciation questions. Okay children, I want you to go through all these 3 lessons and you have to present your quarterly exam paper well and get good marks. Okay, don't take anything for granted. Okay, you have to work hard, all because you are in 12th standard. You are not in 11th standard children. You have to work hard. That is, you are about going children. Anytime the school might reopen or you will be called for writing test or exam, whatever it is in God's hand only, right? So you have to be prepared well for 3 poetry lessons, 3 Naughty Tale stories and 3 prose lessons. Naughty Tale stories also I will be just highlighting on that Zoom class the outline of the story if possible, if there is a time. Otherwise you have to learn. You have the previous video lesson, no? You can take it back and you can put the video lessons and watch and you can learn. Okay children, I hope you have enjoyed the class. Just go through it again till we meet in the next class. Thank you children. I have attached an enrichment video along with this revision. Already I have taught you all the grammar portions and the book exercises from lesson 1, 2 and 3. So your portions for quarterly exam is unit 3, unit 2 and unit 1. Okay children, you learn all the poem, grammar, prose and Naughty Tale stories. Okay, till we meet in the next class. Thank you children.